Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Welcome back, viewers. So, we were discussing about the economic, social, political and environmental benefits of renewable energy. So, just we will be just discussing about some of the statistics and some of the strategies that we can these are some of the statistics we can go forward. So, these are the some of the statistics like economic dimensions, like what are the relative benefits like economic aspects and social, so then environmental, etc. So, how does that means the calculations, that is the above all aggregate welfare calculations, it has been given in statistics in a table. So, that has been given by renewable energy benefits measuring of the economics 2016 given by the society IRENA. So, to move forward now we can say again yes. So, renewable energy, again hydrogen has been taken as a major venture towards the clean and sustainable energy. So, hydrogen as a clean and sustainable energy, it has become even gradually very popular. So, because hydrogen is also recognized as a promising energy source and a carrier to decarbonize the sectors responsible for global warming. So, the sectors which are responsible primarily for polluting the environment, such as electricity, carbon, thermal, coal and petroleum products and transportation, etc. So, how hydrogen can decarbonize these sectors which are responsible for global warming. So, hydrogen production's pathways actually is currently a challenging issue, since hydrogen is produced mainly from the thermochemical process that means through gasification, etc. Even though it is a challenge like hydrogen, but however hydrogen production through water electrolysis has attracted a lot of attention from the innovators, from the researchers to reduce the greenhouse gas emission by using a low carbon sources like such as by using this renewable energy like solar, wind and power and hydro and the nuclear power, how to create the hydro energy as a clean and sustainable energy source. So, therefore, by providing an environmentally friendly fuel instead of currently used all kinds of gasoline, petrol and kerosene, etc., hydrogen can be used in various applications such as transportation, like we are talking about the electric battery vehicle. Now, we can also say that hydrogen boost vehicles, hydrogen based aircrafts, vehicles, trains, etc. These kind of things can also be. So, energy storage, industry, medicines and power to gas, all kinds of things in this transportation of all these things we can use the hydrogen created energy, hydrogen based energy. So, however, these are some of the challenges that we are facing, challenges that we face with the positive steps, like in order to achieve the SDGs by 2030. These are some of the challenges not only in health sector, but energy sector, then food sector, and energy as because it is the major source of all kinds of economic activity and human life activities. So, then what are the risks and challenges involved in it and how to solve it, how to resolve these things with the positive steps. Okay. So, as you can see by 2030, these are the statements given by different different societies, different database, different commissions, different organizations. Like by 2030, quintuple clean energy and climate related R&D. It has become very important. So, direct public investment in research and development by the global funding, as well as the CSR funding of the private sectors. So, for the clean energy so research and development corresponds around $22 billion every year, okay, about 2% of the world's GDP. So, by 2030 it has to be it has to be enhanced like these things. So, increase takes in the high risk, high reward research and development venture. So, we have to invest a lot in the and especially in the public investment in the high energy or renewable energy sector. So, there is therefore, the increased stake in the high risk and high reward research and development ventures, these are there again, these are the challenges nowadays. So, again translation research, how to implement it after creating the after doing the basic research in the renewable energy sector, then how to translate it into implication, into application. So, therefore, government should be the flag bearer. That means, government should take the initiative in the early stage innovation, research, R&D development, investment, etc. So, again use the procurement power, procurement power, tax incentives, then long term guarantees, loan guarantees, startups, all these kinds of facilities are to be provided by the government. Hence, government will be the major stakeholder here to invest, to start the whole operations. So, and again infrastructure is also another important factor, infrastructure for the wind energy, for the solar energy. So, and the charging stations for the electric vehicles, then pipelines for for capture carbon dioxide and hydrogen. So, then the price cap. So, these are the challenges, these are the emerging challenges that has come up with the use of reuse and production of the renewable energy. Similarly, carbon tax, price cap on the carbon, then again how to, that means cleaner electricity standard, to set up the criteria to set a renewable portfolio standard to maintain that electricity standard, clean electricity standard, clean fuel standard, that is for the electric vehicles, enhanced biofuels, electrofuels, low carbon alternatives. What should be the standard, what should be the clean fuel standard, like nowadays ISO 4000, ISO 1000, whatever the standards we are getting from the that means from the criterion level standardization. Similarly, clean product standards, with low carbon emission, cement, steel, plastic, for all kinds of consumable goods and services, as well as the industrial things. So, these are some of the challenges that on the day-to-day basis we have to face, we are facing, and we have to get ready with the solutions. So, therefore, for the short term goal, we can say the short term goal is the initial focus should be on the ones with the low green premium and the no premium at all. So, that means, suppose we are starting with our own initiative. So, with the minimum premium or the minimum kind of loan, minimum EMI it should begin with this kind of opportunities being provided to the stakeholder as a short term goal. However, the long term goal can be, so whenever we decide the green premiums are too high, so that is the extra cost of going green. So, gradually slowly can we increase these green taxes that will make us more make our society more decarbonized, and where there exists a window and opportunity for the new technology, new business, new eco friendly products, organic food system, organic foods, organic agriculture, then products that and slowly how to make these products very affordable and inexpensive. So, that is the long term goal. But the short term goal is that how to, in order to mitigate these challenges, immediate challenges, then how can we go with start with a low green premium kind of things. That means, minimum cost, how can we plan for our short term achievements. So, now here is now you can see a green technology framework. Okay. So, definitely we need the technological breakthrough. So, what would be the green technology frameworks? These are the components of the green technology frameworks, like the production of hydrogen without carbon emission. How can we create the energy from the hydrogen through hydrogen or hydro energy, but with minimum carbon emission. Then the grid scale electricity storage and seasons worth capacity, advanced biofuel, electrofuels, zero carbon steel, then zero carbon biofertilizer, then next generation nuclear fusion, underground electricity. These are some of the things. Plastic management, solid waste management, drought and flood tolerant food crops, and the multiple crops, creating the multiple crops through seasonal multiple crops throughout the year. then coolants that don't contain gases, fuel gases, then other non-conventional renewable sources, cost reduction, technical innovation, more CSR, that means more CSR fund. The industries and the organizations, they should spend CSR fund, major CSR fund in renewable energy production, and the eco-friendly business, eco-friendly and then power installations in rural areas. So, all maintenance, all these are some of the strategies, you can say, some of the strategies, some of the techniques and strategies that we can use to grow, to make our energy system more green. So, green technology framework, green energy framework, how can we develop? By just starting this kind of strategies and implementing it into our action plan. So, here these are some of the clips that you can see how hydrogen energy can be a very versatile and zero emission and efficient energy carrier. Hydrogen created that means high energy density, can be produced with no carbon footprint and can be stored with a large quantities. You might have observed in this pandemic, in the COVID area, the oxygen cylinders, we fall short of the oxygen cylinders required for the hospitals and the patients. So, here again it gave us a challenge to create more and more oxygens, but again oxygen should be more cleaner, not that means that will be created from the that means clean water, there should be clean water. So, our self sustainability in creating the clean oxygen and oxygen cylinders and providing and helping the health system, that also it has also a lesson that we have learned from this pandemic. Similarly, through hydrogen, the power plant, hydrogen based power plants, energy storage facilities and factories, how they can run through this hydrogen power plant. So, these kind of things we can also, our factories and industries can also be based on hydro energy, provided we take care of all these kind of operations and the supply chain processes. So, here we can see these are the basic functionality, the basic formula, basic functionality or operations of this hydro energy, nuclear fusion of these energies. So, that we have to be there. So, that is why we have to invest more and more in scientific research. So, nowadays that is our government is also facing more importance to that is why this core science, basic science like physics, chemistry, using mathematics for all kinds of the geoscience, geographical science and the geological science. So, these kind of things mainstream science subjects, science research should be promoted, should be enhanced. So, similarly, these you can also these are the pictures. Okay. So, how this key solutions to needed to reduce the greenhouse gas emission, how slowly, steadily and progressively we can move towards the more cleaner energy. For example, phase out of the coal plants, gradually we have to invest more in the clean and energy efficiency techniques through solar energy, etc. Then retrofit the buildings, to restructure, retrofit the buildings, then decarbonize the cement, steel, plastics and other goods and the consumable goods. Similarly, shifting to the electric vehicles, then similarly increase in the public transport, rather than, and gradually slowing down the private transport system. So, like for example, the best example is that nowadays every family has at least 3, not earlier possessing a 4-wheeler was a luxury, but now in every family there are at least 2 to 3 personal vehicle, personal 4-wheeler for their own movement. So, that again how to reduce this towards moving towards the public transport system. So, decarbonize the aviation and shipping, that is also. Then halting the deforestation, restoring the degraded lands by enhancing the soil quality, making it more fertilized land. Then plantations, the plantation, that means improving the plant life on land, reducing the loose waste or waste management, waste recycling, waste management, reducing the food wastage, food loss and waste management, that is also very important, and eat more, and then gradually slowly we will have to change our habits, eating habits. consumption habits like eating more towards the gradually to becoming more vegetarians than the non-vegetarians, and moving towards plants, eat more plants and veggies and the greens than the non-veg and the meats, etc. So, these are some of these steps that we can take both at the individual level as well as the collective level. So, these are the some of the states, these are the charging stations for the different kinds of renewable energy sources, like charging stations established under the FAME schemes, like charging centers, like started from the March 2021. Himachal, it has a electricity charging system for the electric cars, okay. Himachal Pradesh, then Uttar Pradesh, and that is Chandigarh, Rajasthan and Karnataka, and Telangana also, those who have already become self-sufficient in creating sustainable and renewable energy. So, moreover, again judicial decision regarding the highlighting the climate action. So, international cases and climate action. So, these are some of the cases like Netherlands and some of the legal cases, judicial actions and decisions have been taken highlighting the climate action. Some of the cases are like this, federation of federation in Pakistan 215, and some of the Irish government, they have also taken some of the cases, government of Ireland and Attorney General. So, then again pollution control board, even nowadays in every state we have the pollution control board. Similarly, in different agencies working for this climate change mitigation, action against the climate change, international bodies, organizations, NGOs, primarily acting on the climate action. So, legality of the instruments, that is one is that UNFCCC preamble is there and UNFCCC principles are there. So, the parties should protect the climate system for the benefit. So, we have to be active from different dimensions, politically, socially, financially, economically, technologically. So, therefore, the developed countries also they also should take the lead in combating this kind of climate change and mitigating its adverse effect. So, the developed countries along with the UNESCO and the Green Economy Fund, so they should take the lead to guide the whole world towards more sustainable and clean energy system. Therefore, the parties should take the precautionary measure to anticipate and prevent the minimized causes of the climate change, mitigate. If we can do it at our own level, individual level, definitely we can proceed and progress. So, then but again it should require also the integrated with in national development programs also. So, all the state governments and the local government activities should go hand in hand with the national development programs and the schemes. So, therefore, all the political parties, they should be accountable, they should take a common stand, and take the responsibility as the specific national goal, regional goal, priorities, and the and take it as a priority development priorities and objectives to plead for, to move ahead, to progress, to take the democratic decision in this regard, in this dimension. So, these are some of the judicial acts related to different kinds of articles. So, Indian judiciary perspective is also like this kind of things. These are the principles formulated, doctrines formulated as per the All India record, Supreme Court record, and so all kinds of things. These are the rules and regulations, the judicial letters, legislative judicial acts. So, say these are the details of the these are the again Paris Agreement. Paris Agreement, its long term goal to guide all the nations. Its long term goal, Paris Agreement's long term goal is to guide all the nations and review the countries' commitments towards the climate change every year to review it, monitor it, and evaluate their commitment towards this climate change, and again shifting towards a net zero emission world. Gradually not that reducing the carbon emission, but shifting gradually towards the zero emission world. So, so it will be a landmark in the multilateral climate change process, multilateral climate change process to combat the climate change and adapt to its effects. So, according to the Paris Agreement, from time to time evaluation, monitoring, regulation and shifting takes place to how quickly, how early can we get the the zero emission plan, the net zero emission world for all of us. So, following the announcements, some of the announcements are expected, rules are needed to implement as per the Paris Agreement guideline. So, every country must take the faster, must make their action plans very fast, very and quickly to switch over to electric vehicles, speeding up the phasing out of the coal power, and being dependent more on solar power, wind power and hydropower. So, enhancing, increasing the greenery, forest land, enhancing the greenery. So, for improving the temperature, for reducing the temperature in the climate, temperature in the environment, and environmental temperature, protecting more people from the impacts of the climate change, such as fundraising, funding the coastal defense system, funding the for agriculture farmers. So, these are things. So in different already different countries they are already invested in this huge amount of money in this R&D and this kind of activities, and they are also achieving the goals slowly and steadily. So, we have to focus more towards this renewable energy and how it benefits our society, economy and the environment. So, we have to move ahead, keeping in mind the 2030 targets. So, these are the members, these are the COP members, 26 members communities, that is who will be there in the committee and what are the decisions they used to take. These are some of the clippings. Then again, after the that means how to track this Paris Agreement process, like how to monitor, how to control, how to regulate this this improvement, this commitment of the different countries, different nations towards this global climate change process and the agreement. So, information collection and preparation, from time to time and from and monitoring, deputing the government's monitoring agencies. These are some of the mechanism to monitor and evaluate and regulate the climate change actions through by using the renewable energy. So, communicating and acting on the findings, yes, low carbon solutions for the new markets, zero carbon solutions becoming competitive, and 2030 as the zero carbon solutions should be competitive in the sectors representing 70% of the global emission. Similarly, like just like a diversity friendly brand name, diversity friendly, which companies are diversity friendly, etc. Similarly, now the companies, the industries, the countries will be ranked according to the zero carbon solution, zero carbon emission and 100% by going 100% renewable energy sources. So, on that basis the countries, the companies across the globe will be rated, will be ranked, that parameters will be there. So, here no country performed well enough till date, no country has performed well enough to achieve the goals of 2015 Paris Agreement. How there are low performers, very low performers and optimum performers are there, but however, so reduction of the greenhouse gas emission by 40% weightage, use of the renewable energy 20%, energy use efficiency increasing by 20% and climate policy tools. So, the United States with a rank of 61, global rank of 61 is the worst performer, followed by Saudi Arabia, Iran, Canada, Taipei, Australia, Russia, South Korea, etc. and other 3 major countries, those who are also with very low rating. So, the top 3 spot in the rating, global rating are actually kept, no country performed well enough. Sweden is ranked as the 4th. So, all the top 3 ranks are vacant. Sweden lies in the 4th rank, followed by the UK, Denmark and Morocco and Norway with this Paris Agreement commitments and actions. So, India at 10 is the only Asian country with very high rating. Okay. Egypt, Chile, UK and Malta ranked etc. highest under the reducing the greenhouse emissions category. Which country emits how much greenhouse gas emission? On the basis that India ranks 10. So, in renewable energy use category, Latvia, Norway, Sweden, Denmark and Finland were the top 5 countries and India ranked 27. So, who is using how much creating, producing, consuming renewable energy in the renewable use category? Latvia, Norway, Sweden, Denmark. So, Scandinavian countries are always well ahead. Similarly, Finland is also, so all the three Scandinavian countries and the Finland. So, they are in the top rankers, and India ranked in the 27 with a medium rating. So, Iran, Russia, Taipei, Malaysia, Belarus, all these things they rank the lowest. Mexico, Egypt are also of the very lower countries with low ratings, And this greenhouse gas emission key developments during the and its impact during the COVID-19 effects, global emissions are declining. Yes, of course, with the shutdown of all kinds of vehicles, shops, business transaction, definitely global emissions, global greenhouse emission has declined to some extent, and this is the largest. That means around 4% to 7% worldwide decline has taken place. Now, the key result is that the G20 performance, that like the only France joins the last year's two high performing G20 countries. So, G20 summit primarily aims at these G20 countries, India and the UK, two high performing G20 countries are the India and UK. Although India has one of the largest growth trends, per capita emissions stays at comparatively low rate, rated very high for their new well below 2 degrees compatibility. But however, in the present time, China has become the the major contributor towards this country which emits maximum carbon in the gas greenhouse emissions, including. So, how to then China has been given a reminder again and again by the WHO and UNESCO. So, these are the countries ranking, and the worst performing Estonia and Cyprus, Ireland and Estonia are the worst performing European Union countries, all with the overall very low rating in this category. This is all about the data about the greenhouse gas emissions. These are the graphs also, as you can see, the global energy related things, carbon dioxide. So, these are the greenhouse gas emissions for the major economics in the world since during the period 1990 to 2030, how it is increasing historically and how it is projected. The greenhouse consumption has been, the greenhouse emission has been increasing like anything. So, now I am closing the session right now here only. So, we will continue the discussion in the next class.